Every entrepreneur has had this moment. You have an idea, you can see the product in your head, and you know there is a market problem to solve. Then, reality arrives with a clipboard and hits you in the face. How do you build it? How do you secure it? How do you scale it? How do you know whether the idea is worth a year of your life and a mountain of budget? Well, on this episode of 10-Minute Tech Talks, we are back with Adam Wynne of Wynne Technologies to talk about how AI is changing that equation for founders in small businesses. And I'm Jonathan Kirsting with the Pittsburgh Technology Council and Tech Vibe. In this episode, Adam explains how entrepreneurs are already using vibe coding to build early versions of products. That can be an awesome start, but many hit a wall as it comes time to move into production. And this is where Adam's APES methodology comes in, helping companies turn prototypes, spreadsheets, algorithms, and raw ideas into software that can be owned, operated, and improved. Hear why AI is helping businesses prove value faster, find quick wins, and avoid spending a year and a half chasing an idea that may not work. Let's swing into the second part of our conversation with Adam Wynne right now. I'm assuming a lot of folks might be in the middle of something and things aren't going right, or they thought they could vibe code their way into success, and then they're realizing, wait a second, I'm kind of there, but this definitely isn't ready for prime time. So
I'm working with a lot of kind of analytic type applications where maybe there's sensors in the field that are pulling data back. The data needs to be integrated with other data sources using APIs. And so a lot of times the customers will have developed algorithms and they have things worked out in spreadsheets or maybe in quick scripts, but they haven't operationalized it yet. So that's me catching them at the beginning to be like, okay, now based on the fact that you've done all this legwork, now let's talk about how we can turn it into a real supportable project.
100%. Okay, that's awesome.
And so in that case, I can work with them. I can do the discovery, generate all those rough documentations, and go through that whole process I laid out.
Get them in. Yeah.
The other type of a situation is a lot of founders are actually starting to do the vibe coding on their own these days.
Yes. I'm thinking right now, whole companies are being built because, wait, I think I might be able to code an app. It's not my company. It's maybe. Maybe.
Yeah. So a lot of founders, CEOs will actually start to vibe code their own product because they're like, wait a second, I got this huge quote from a traditional software company. Let me try this vibe coding thing to see how far I can get on my own. They can build really nice looking products, but then oftentimes they'll get stuck at the point where it needs to then be deployed into production.
Yeah.
And so what I can come in at that point is I could be like, hey, I got architecture scaffolding that will help us make this ultra secure, make it very cost effective as well. I also have agents that are continually monitoring cloud usage to make sure that you stay within the budget that makes sense for you.
I love that.
And so it really helps you scale down to what you need at the moment, but then helps you scale up when customers grow.
Gotcha. And I think the thing I keep kind of coming back to in my mind that I think is just so important is you mentioned the spec side of things, and that the idea that when this is done, like, you know what's in the code and you can access the code. Like, you own the code. It's not just, this thing is running. We don't know where it's running and how it's running, but it appears to be working. And that's not how you want to build a business. You want to make sure that if you're building a business on something, you own it all.
Right.
And you know how to tweak it and improve it and troubleshoot it if you need to, right?
Yeah. So all the code and all the documentation and all the specifications, that ends up in the same code repository that a developer would work from. So I can build something and hand it off to an existing development team. I can hand it off to another developer. I can stay on and help maintain and operate the system for them.
How cool is that? You can provide that kind of flexibility. That's pretty amazing, because someone might I want you to hold my hand the entire time, right? They can be like, get it to this point, QB it over and send it over to my team, and they can finish the rest. So that gives people lots of flexibility in how they want to kind of build their project.
Right. It's also good for founders too, that they're looking for a technical partner.
Yes.
But they're not in a position where they can give away more equity.
Exactly.
So I can kind of come in and be like, hey, I've done this before. I know what you're trying to do. And so I can scope it exactly to this level of price, and it's going to take us this amount of time, and they can get a professional product really quickly.
So you get to have fun in a bunch of different ways.
Yeah. All day, every day is fun. It's learning, it's building stuff, and it's using new tools to do it.
Absolutely. And what I can see is this is your passion. The way you talk about it, this is your jam. And I think that's got to be a lot of fun to be able to be working on the things you want to work on, you have passion for. I know one of the things you've got a lot of passion for is sustainability and the green side of things. which I think is really cool.
Yeah.
Tell me about your passion behind that and how AI is being applied to some projects maybe you're working on. I think this is a fascinating little green side of what's going on with Adam Wynne here.
Yeah, so a lot of the clean technologies that are coming around. So, for example, you can have an analytics system that deals with decarbonization for office space and stuff like that. And so I'm working on a project with a customer like that right now, and they're able to basically dial in the efficiency of a commercial building so that they can save money at a predictable level for the entire year and in future years.
That's
so as they're
that's
making
cool.
right. So as they're making green upgrades to their building, they can basically measure that those upgrades are being realized in practice.
That's amazing. You can actually, you can now see in real time, this is actually working or this isn't, and they can then adjust. And they have this powerful technology to do that.
And it's also cool looking at the sustainability space. So corporate sustainability folks are typically like a one-person operation within inside a corporation, and they're just constantly pulling data from spreadsheets, and they have to go get data from procurement, and they have to go get data from another place and manually pull stuff together. AI is really good at pulling data together, analyzing documents, analyzing policies, and making sure that we're meeting our goals and that kind of thing as well.
You're basically giving whoever's managing sustainability, like a whole team, to go out there and pull all the good stuff so they can really they can show what's going on and see where it's lacking or where it's exceeding and take it from there. That's got to feel really good to be like, yeah, one of my passions is this and I'm applying my other passion to it. So that's got to be a lot of fun. It's a good way to live.
Yeah. It is great. And there's a lot of talk in the region these days about energy with all the data center stuff coming online. And that fits into the whole grid pulse angle as well.
Of course, in Pittsburgh, I mean, we're kind of home to sustainability here. A lot of sustainability that goes around the world has its roots that ties into Pittsburgh and what we had done over the decades, cleaning up our industrial legacy here, which I think is pretty amazing stuff. So, man, you're hitting it on so many different directions. So what's next? I mean, obviously, more customers is something that you're always looking for, but you're always evolving your technology. Where do you see yourself moving over the next few months?
So the obvious thing for me is to do product builds, but I think also small and medium businesses need ability as well. Every CEO I talk to, they know they need AI. They're not getting clear signals on what's working and what's not. A lot of analysis in terms of what large scale consulting firms have fielded over the past year or so. And so then I can kind of turn that into I have another offering, which is kind of like a right-sized innovation program around AI. That I can kind of come in and I can lead a team of innovators in the company through a process of figuring out what use cases they want to implement, what are the best ones, what are the ones that are going to return value, and what are the ones that are going to be the easiest to implement, and so that we can show quick wins. Because the problem that a lot of companies are having is how do we prove the return on investment that we're getting from AI?
Well, that's why I'm really excited about the evolution that we're seeing now in the place. I mean, like eons ago, like last year, people are still like, we need to be doing AI. They don't even know what it means, but now it's like, there's an actual business case. You can prove the business value. So now I think it's really maturing to a level where it just becomes part of a function as to how a business that wants to be competitive does business at this point, which is great for you because they need people to build these tools and make sure that they're built right. I can only imagine back in some of the earlier days, like 23, 24, that people were building things, but they were wonky. You're seeing the potential, but not getting the full potential.
Or it would take a year and a half to find out, is this idea going to fly or not?
Exactly.
So one of the big things that this AI coding revolution has done is it's really shortened the amount of time that you can prove, do we even have an idea or not? You can figure that out.
That's interesting. That's a great point. Talk about a powerful thing for a startup entrepreneur. Like, you think you got this great idea, you think you're solving this problem that's out there, but now you can find out much faster. Very cool stuff.
And so it allows you to fail earlier, keep iterating, keep coming up with new ideas that are going to hit in the market.
Absolutely. Adam really lands the entrepreneur lesson here. AI is not just about building faster, it's about learning faster. For startups, that can be huge. Instead of spending months or years trying to figure out whether an idea has legs, AI can help founders prototype, test, refine, and when needed, fail earlier. That might sound harsh, but early failure can be one of the most valuable gifts an entrepreneur ever gets. Adam also makes an important point about ownership. If your business depends on software, you need to know where the code lives, how it works, how it scales, and how it can be maintained. A pretty prototype is really nice. A product you can actually run is the real prize of the bunch here. You can hear my full interview with Adam on Tech Vibe by clicking on the link in the description. And this has been Jonathan Kirsting with the Pittsburgh Technology Council. And I can't thank you enough for spending some time with me here on 10 Minute Tech Talks. And I cannot wait to see you on the next one.